All right, what's up everybody? We're back in the shop. As you saw from the Born Free videos, we had a great time. Thanks so much for you guys tuning into the videos, liking the videos, sharing the videos. They've definitely been our best videos on the channel to date, and I'm super stoked. With that, we have a big announcement. I'm sure you can probably tell by the thumbnail. Justin's making some moves, and I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna let him talk about it because I don't agree with it. I agree with it, I know why he's doing it, but it breaks my heart. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, I'm gonna let him kind of explain what's going on, why he's doing it, and then at the end of this video, we're gonna go back to my shop and I'm gonna show you some moves that I made regarding what I needed in my life, I guess, and what I wanted in my life, and what's gonna kind of benefit this channel as well through these winter months. So here we go, here's Justin.
All right, it's kind of sad, but I have to make some business moves and kind of liquidate some things. I put Minty up for sale in the past, and it was expensive. I mean, it's worth it. I have a lot of money invested in it, a lot of time invested in it, but I'm putting both of these up for sale for basically my rock bottom price. I have to move them quick. Everything's got to move pretty fast. To be honest, I hope they're sold before this video comes out, but we'll see. So I'm selling each for $45,000 each. I know that sounds like a lot. I damn near have that in this one, even though I made all my stuff for it. But so yeah, this is a 2020 Road King. All my parts on it, all one-off stuff on it with the bare bones fairing, 124 S&S motor, subframe, swing arm, wheels, etc. And we'll probably do like a bike check soon on both of these if we still have them, just kind of go over all the detailed parts. And then this is the 89 FXR that I just finished. It has 1,000 miles on it now because that's all I rode it. And it's a 114 M8, all one-off parts, swing arm, wheels, front end, crazy headlight. Everything's been done.
Crazy side covers.
Crazy everything. So this is like, they're both really one-off bikes. So you can't go buy one like it. You won't have one like it. And I hope they sell soon. I think that's a super fair price. You can't build them for that. So help me out, push it, sell it, buy it.
So I know a lot of people say like, oh, Justin, you just make whatever. There's still price of material. You still got to buy the bike. You still got to, there's still a lot of physical money plus time is money. So to sit down and design it, which we've talked about this, we're going to make a video showing you guys, because I think a lot of people think that Justin just hits this button, I think. Is it this one?
Green, no, the one down low. The green
this
button,
one, okay.
It takes your thoughts out of your head and then shits it out the back.
There you go. A lot of people think he just hits this button and spins his dial, Craig. But there's more to it than just that. And we're going to actually do a video, kind of a time lapse. We're going to show the clock. We're going to design a part, small part, and run it through the series.
Yeah, and maybe even do like prices on things, like prices of the material, price of the tooling, of the machine, of the software, all that, just to figure out like what it would take to make that.
This isn't to...
We're not poor meat.
Yeah, this isn't a poor meat. This is just so people, because I think right now in today's society, I think a lot of people are just assuming that if you have this, once you have this, that's it. But there's still a cost on this each month. Electricity, obviously a shop, a facility to run this in. There's plumbing, air, water. I mean, there's just so much to it.
Style. Like you have to have some type of style and designing and stuff like that. Because you can have 4 different machinist programmer. We'll have 4 different parts because we draw everything totally different.
I think that was also what was really cool. Now that I've been more and more involved with you, obviously, the FXR tour kind of showed, like meeting John the Painter, meeting TBJ, Brian, obviously.
I think we had 5 different machinists in that group.
Yeah, Paul.
And we are totally different.
Everyone's style is so different, and everyone's style reflect their motorcycles, even though they were all FXRs. To me, that shit was like super cool. But we want to show that to you guys, just to show you all that there's a reason why when you go to a build or go to a shop like Justin or Bare Knuckle or FXR Division, and you're looking at their parts and you're like, man, I know I can get the same thing on Amazon or whatever. It's not the same. It's not the same. So either way, 45 grand. Like when he told me that, I almost liquidated all my stuff, because this thing, and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to do a quick little walk around. The bikes are dirty. It's raining and cold outside, so we didn't get a chance to wash it. But I mean, this thing's got Behringer brakes all the way around. Like you said, a one-off subframe, one-off swing arm. The frame is nickel plated. The motor's fully built. You know, mid controls, one-off seat. The list goes on and on and on. Full one-off front end, one-off wheels, parts that no one else is going to have. And if you don't want this to be Justin's bike, change the paint, and I guarantee you most of the other stuff people won't even recognize anymore.
Right.
The color, I think, is what really...
Yeah, I dig the color a lot, but yeah, you could change the paint, which is the easiest thing to do, and then you'll have your own style bike. Or keep it the same and rock it.
Yeah,
so.
and just tell everyone to fuck off.
Yeah.
And then this thing, obviously, it's only been to one show. So if you were to show up on this bike, this thing, as far as we're concerned, is still a fresh build. I'm not gonna say it broke the internet like this one has. This thing is making its ways around the internet, but if you were to take ownership of this bike, it would still be your bike, because I don't think Justin sat on this thing enough to be your bike.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I rode it from Colorado back to Texas, and it's a brand new bike.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 miles. It's a brand new bike. This motor is not a used motor. It's a brand new out of a pullout. So it had 3 miles on it to break in, and then we put it in this. So everything is brand new on this bike.
Yeah. And same thing, a lot of one-off parts on here, obviously. You got a Lucky Strike paint job. You know, HPI threw some parts at it. Obviously, an SPV exhaust.
Yeah.
Custom one-off wheels that no one else will have. Lindell rotors.
Yeah, Lindell rotors. And also this tank, it looks stock, but it's all cut down. The filler's cut down. Henry from Steadfast did everything. The fuel pump is in there. Dakota digital gauge. The crazy risers that go through the front end. The headlight. There's a lot of crazy one-off parts on both bikes. I am gonna, hopefully if these go, I will start another bike at the beginning of the year for next year, but I need these to go, to be honest, I need these to go to pay off those, because I am tired of paying monthly payments on those, and to reinvest in myself. So that's the reason.
And like I said, I hate it, but I completely understand it, because I do the same thing. I don't have enough money to just have like stock hollow cool shit. So obviously I got to make moves that I want to make moves, and my money's this big. This stuff's expensive. So we're gonna do some little slow-mo kind of action on this stuff, so you kind of see it. Like, again, forgive that it's dirty, but man, these are beautiful bikes. And also I would say your Instagram has some up close photos. I know Ben did some really nice photos of this.
Instagram, and I'm also going to do a little reel saying the same thing, that they're for sale on Instagram. But yeah, there's more detailed shots of both bikes on my Instagram.
Y'all know what to do. And then stick around after this, because I'm going to show you kind of my mistakes.
His will be for sale too, because he's about to go to bed.
Hey! So as I stated over at Justin's house, I made some choices of myself, and one of the choices I made was I decided to sell a bike, and the bike I decided to sell was the Daytona. Love the bike, it's immaculate. I've ridden it, man, I don't know how many miles I put on it. I know I don't post about it or whatever, but to me that bike was what it was, and I didn't really have any intentions of doing anything to it. And with the FXR tour and all this other stuff going on, I wanted a bike that I could build that I'm not hurting the value on, if that makes sense. And I just felt like if I go and start altering in that bike, that's just gonna kill the value of it. Not just kill the value, but make the bike still not what I want. And what I want is an FXR now. I've said it a couple times in the videos. Let me get out of this sun. Ooh, accidentally showed you the bike. So what I wanted was an FXR, and I found the perfect one. So huge thanks to Grant and Taylor. While we were at the FXR tour, they actually went up to St. Louis. hung out there for the night. Next morning woke up and Grant rode the bike all the way home to me, about 400 miles or so. Said the bike had no problems. It's got a little leak, which is to be expected. It's an FXR. It's actually just leaking from the push rod too. I'm gonna turn the camera around, I'm gonna show you the bike, kind of go over some of the things of why this is the bike that I picked to build. And I'll give you kind of like a small idea of what I'm gonna do with it. These videos are gonna start fast. Like as soon as this video releases, this bike's gonna be on the lift and I'm gonna start tearing it down. So this is gonna be kind of a winter project, but I hope to have it done during winter. Like it's not gonna be like dragged out over 3 or 4 months because I'm not going extreme on this bike. Yeah, let's turn it around, show you guys what we're working with. So what we got here is a 1991, it's just the FXR S, which is just the lowrider. And for those that don't know what the different, you know, variations is, the lowrider, obviously single front brake. It's got the speedometer and tach with the kind of the dual caps, even though one's functional and one's a fuel gauge. But it's not the baseline, because obviously the base is the Super Glide, but it's down there, you know what I mean? There's not a huge value in this bike other than this color. So if you've ever seen my Softail before I kind of went back to black on it, this is the color that I was mimicking. I used kind of modern colors, but I used OEM decals and then did the two-tone blue with a silver pinstripe. So the paint's staying. The biggest reason I went after this bike was for the paint. The paint's gonna stay. Now that I got the bike home and I've detailed it, and I've actually taken the chance to just really look the bike over. So my original plan was to actually pull a motor, powder coat the frame, replace a bunch of stuff, clean some stuff, go for that. But man, this frame is so clean. I mean, all the decals and everything's just so nice on it that I think I'm just gonna polish it along with the tins. There's not a scratch. I mean, usually there's dings and stuff up in here. There's nothing. I mean, there's a couple spots on the back of this fender from coming in contact with the oil cooler, but I'm gonna see if a paint correction guy can maybe fix that for me, kind of push those dents out and then just paint correct it. But the bike is overall what I wanted color wise. I wish it was a convertible. I wish it was the center field tank and dual brakes, but we're going to address the dual brakes. So I got a few ideas in my head. I'm thinking about going with kind of like more of a late model dual brake setup, so I can run some late model calibers, 11/8 rotors, etc., etc. Of course, you know, the standard, kind of what the FXR standard and shocks. I'm going to use those Batibos, or however you say it, on the rear, just like what Justin's got on his bike. I'm getting with Saddlemen. We're actually going to do a kind of a cool seat for the bike, so we'll have a Saddlemen seat on it. Justin's risers, bars. It's going to be a pretty simple build, but I am going to take it down. The motor definitely needs some addressing, so there's a lot of gray showing. So I'm debating to pull the motor all the way out of the chassis to paint it, or just pull it down enough to paint it in the bike. I don't know. The transmission's super clean. There's a couple little flakes and stuff, but I don't know if I need to pull the transmission. But I definitely am going to pull the primary. I'm going to pull the primary. You know, it's gaskets need to be replaced anyways, and of course, you know, paint and everything. Oil tank's super clean, like, you know. So and this is the reason why I don't want to really do the frame, is because everything on the frame is so nice. I don't know if I want to strip it down and just redo it, but the motor does look like shit. So, but the hardware, what's crazy is how washed out the motor is. But all the hardware, even the head bolts, these are some of like the nicest looking head bolts that I've seen in a while, as well as all the other hardware. So the bike is very well taken care of. It's 38,000 miles on it, but everything's still, you know, all the letters on the buttons are great. You know, everything's still real legible there. You know, there's no discoloration. You can still read the words. I don't know if you've noticed a bunch on these bikes, but people kind of hit the rear fender and there's no little marks. I mean, it is really good. The wheels super clean, brake caliber super clean, the brake line, I mean, there's no flaking in here. That's all stuff that I look at. That master cylinder looks great. Just everything looks really, really good on the bike. Like I said, the oil tank is just so clean on here still. No dings, no scratches. I mean, these are original lines and they're still really, really nice. I mean, your safety switches, here's where the oil leak is I was talking about. It looks like to me it's just coming out of this push rod seal, maybe the oil pressure gauge itself, but either way, super solid bike. And just lift it, seat bars, risers, and a handful of other cool guy parts. And I want to have me a run-in and ride-in FXR to take out on some FXR ventures next year. So wanted to show you guys this. Like I said, unfortunately, the Daytona does have to go. I don't have the money to kind of have a garage full of bikes, but this bike is incredible. I'm super stoked on it. Thank you again, Grant, for picking it up for me, and Taylor. The bike's gonna have some bare knuckle parts on it. The bike's gonna have some FXR division parts on it. The bike's gonna have obviously a Saddleman on it, and of course my machinist parts on it. So pretty much everyone that was with us on the FXR tour, I'm gonna throw it at this thing, and I'm excited. Within 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna start putting videos up of this thing. So get ready for some more FXR content. With Justin, as you guys remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but he has another FXR in the garage for Hudson, his son. They're trying to get it ready for Sturgis next year, so that build's gonna be coming up. So it seems like we're gonna be doing a lot of FXR stuff, because we are gonna be doing a lot of FXR stuff. And I have an FXR now, replays. Either way, I'm cutting the video off. I got an FXR, Justin's selling an FXR. You need an FXR. Let's everybody get FXRs and have some fun. So until next time, see you later. Take care.